City of Bangor Annual Assessment Update, April 1st, 2020. Annual Assessment Update, Quality Market Information, Supply and Demand Changes, Market Value Factors, Equality Adjustments, Fair and Equitable Assessments. Maine's official assessment date is April 1st each year. The city's fiscal year runs from July 1st, 2020 to June 30th, 2021. This period is called Fiscal Year 2021. Sales study period. Real estate sales, which occurred from July 2018 through June 2019, received the most weight in our analyses. Over 400 sales through March 2020 were considered. What is a sales ratio? Sale ratio equals assessed value divided by sale price. If a property's assessed value is $180,000 and it sells for $200,000, the sale ratio is 90%. If a property's assessed value is $220,000 and it sells for $200,000, the sale ratio is 110%. Objectives. City policy says overall sales ratio should be about 100%. Assessor proposes to make valuation changes by neighborhood, location, if necessary, and by property type. The changes are necessary because the sale ratio studies show a median ratio either below 91% or above 103%. As the median ratio moves toward a 95%, equity improves. The real estate market in Bangor has seen higher prices paid for existing homes and apartment buildings. Demand is strong due to Bangor's appeal, good rental history, and record low interest rates. Supply of listed properties was low in 2019 and even lower in 2020, leading to a strong position for sellers in the market. Days on market can be used as a thermometer to gauge the temperature of a market, and the DOM has decreased over the past year. Buyers are ready to make an offer shortly after the property hits the market. Single residence home price. Median sale price in 2019 was $158,000, a 5.3% increase from 2018. The median sale price indicates that half the homes were sold for more and half sold for less. There were 377 arm-length sales in 2019, a 9.9% increase from 2018. Single resident sales includes condo and PUD properties. The blue bars show the median sale price. We see that in 2017, the median was $144,000, and in 2019, it had increased to $158,000. Price appreciation indicated by Bangor repeat sales. 15 single residences sold and resold during calendar years 2007 through 2019. The median appreciation rate was 7.1%, and the average appreciation rate was 8.15%. The appreciation rate range was from a low of 1% to a high of 16.5%. 3 condominium planned unit development residences sold and resold during calendar years 2017 through 2019. The median appreciation rate for them was 10%, and the average appreciation rate was 8.33%. The appreciation rate range was from a low of 2% to a high of 13%. Federal Housing Finance Agency reported the following for Bangor. Home Price Index Calculator. When using the Home Price Index Calculator, please note that it does not project the actual value of any particular house. Rather, it projects what a given house purchased at a point in time would be worth at a later point if it appreciated at the average appreciation rate of all homes in an area, and below is the website address for the calculator. And what we've reported is the time period and the house price index change. So this tells us that from comparing the first quarter of 2018 to the first quarter of 2019, Bangor homes increased 3.3%. But then if we look at the third quarter of 2018 to the third quarter of 2019, that quarter went up 7.4%. So if we average the 4 quarters, we end up with 4.5% average increase in Bangor properties. Below are the median ratios by major property category prior to any adjustments. Condo and PUD properties and mobile homes and parks should see a smaller increase than the other groups rated as low. So we have the category, the ratio, and the comment. So single residents, they had a ratio of 89%, which is a low ratio. Condo, PUD, and planned group developments had a ratio of 94%, pretty much okay. Multi-residence 2 units had a ratio of 83%, which is a low ratio. Multiple residence 3 or more units had a ratio of 80%, which is a low ratio. And mobile homes and parks had a 96% ratio, which was okay. The next few slides show a small number of properties that have sold twice over the past few years. Please note the percent change in the time period. Baldwin Drive condo PUD sold August of 2018 for $119,000. Sold again in June of 2019 for $130,500, and that is a 10% change over 10 months. Merrimac Street single family sold January 2017 for $108,000 and sold again in August of 2018 for $118,000. That's a 9% change over 18 months. Newbury Street, that's a 2-unit, that sold May of 2017 for $105,000 and sold again in January 2019 for $124,500. That's a 19% change over 20 months. Outer Essex Street, a ranch with a garage, sold January of 2018 and sold again in September of 2018 for $227,000. That's an 8% change over 8 months. Chickadee Lane off of Mount Hope Avenue, it's a single unit with a garage, sold in November of 2017 for $310,000 and then sold June of 2019 for $315,000. That's a 2% change over 18 months. Briarwood Drive off Beaumark Road, raised ranch, sold March of 2017 for $175,000, sold again in May of 2019 for $222,500, and that's a 27% change over 26 months. West Broadway, a colonial, sold in June of 2017 for $272,500 and sold again in July of 2018 for $289,000, and that's a 6% change over 12 months. Pont Street off Union Street, colonial, sold October of 2017 for $150,000, sold again in March of 2019 for $169,900. That's a 13% change over 17 months. What city adjustments were made to arrive at the after ratios shown on the next slide? Made a 4 to 5 point increase to all residential building and outbuilding values. In addition, an upward adjustment for each additional dwelling unit. These changes will result in increased assessed values for single residence as well as multi-residence properties. Mobile, modular homes and parks will see a change to their outbuilding values. Garages, porches, additions, decks, sheds, etc. are classified as outbuildings in the city's model. Commercial industrial improved property adjustments, commercial cost files were updated using Marshall Valuation Service figures as of November 2019. By the way of background, the assessing department uses the Marshall Valuation Service for maintaining commercial property valuations by determining replacement cost of buildings and other improvements. Before and after ratio summary by class. So we have the class of property, we have the beginning ratio and the after ratio. If we look at all improved properties, we started at 89% and ended at 92%. Residential condo PUD, we started at 94% and ended at 96%. Single residence moved from 89% to 92%. 2-unit small apartments, we started at 83% and moved up to 85% with an asterisk. 3 or more multi-residence units started at 80% and moved up to 84% with an asterisk. All commercial industrial properties started at 95% of market value and moved to 96%. And mobile homes and parks started at 96 and pretty much remained at 96. For the asterisk on the small apartment units, please note that the 2-year study of small apartment properties produced a ratio much closer to 90%, much more in line with the other classes. No neighborhood-specific adjustments were built into the April 1st, 2020 assessed values. A 2-year study, sales from July of 2018 through June of 2020, will be considered and will inform us on the need to make neighborhood adjustments for the assessment date as of April 1st, 2021. Were the adjustments necessary? As an example, 56 single resident sales took place from January 1st, 2020 to March 31st, 2020. The report showed a median sales ratio of just 87%. Without the previously outlined adjustments, this figure would be even lower and would be inequitable as compared to other property types with ratios in the mid-90s. The next few slides show homes that were constructed in 2019. Included are the property's general location, building style, and likely assessed value. New home on Bentley Lane, condo PUD, likely assessed value $400,000. New home on Griffin Road, a ranch home with no basement, likely assessed value $152,000. New home on Hornbeam off of Outer Broadway, colonial, likely assessed value $370,000. New ranch on Outer Union Street, likely assessed value $200,000. What about the new apartment, retail, wholesale, and Bangor buildings? Are they being assessed at reasonable values? The answer is yes. New multi-unit on Lupine Way off Essex Street, likely value at $100,000 per unit. Retail rehabbed for credit union and pharmacy on Broadway, likely property value $2,700,000. Downtown conversion from office space to 18 apartments on Franklin Street, likely property value $2,900,000. Sylvan Road, former roller skating rink, rehabbed into office and classroom, likely property value $2,150,000. The next slide shows that apartment buildings and other commercial industrial properties also received changes to their property value. So commercial occupancy on the left and range of value change on the right, and we see that most industrial, retail and office, fast food, restaurants and service garages pretty much had very little change, 0 to 2%. Multi-residence, in line with the other multi-residence properties, should see a 4 to 6% increase. Business personal property highlight. In 2019, businesses in Bangor purchased more than $34 million worth of machinery and equipment, computers, fixtures, furniture, etc. Due to the state of Maine Betty program, Betty is business equipment tax exemption, 17.5 million, or just over 50% of the purchases, were exempted at the local level. The remaining 16.5 million was taxable and helped lower the city's tax rate. Business personal property programs. For more information on Betty business equipment tax exemption or Better business equipment tax rebate, please contact the assessing department at 992-4212. An exemption or rebate will help reduce the amount you pay in actual tax dollars. Summary of changes. So the changes are market-based. Fairness and equity have both improved and adjustments are necessary. Is my assessment equitable? There are two good methods of determining this. First, compare your property to similar properties that sold in the previous year. Second, if no recent sales are available, compare your assessment to other similar properties in your area. Remember, very few properties are exactly alike. Your tax bill. Individual tax bills are based on your property's taxable assessed value multiplied by the city's tax rate. So the tax rate is equal to the net amount to raise divided by the total taxable value of the city. The net amount to raise equals net to be raised by local property taxes less state of Maine reimbursement for homestead and Betty exemptions plus the overlay amount. Who pays what share property taxes in Bangor? So in the top, 6.4% is payment from the state of Maine for reimbursement for homestead and Betty exemptions. The blue part is 51.9%. That is paid by the owners of commercial and industrial land, structures, and business personal property. And on the right, and the green, 41.7% is paid by residential 1 to 4 family homes, condos, PUD, mobile homes, and residential vacant land. Individual exemptions. For more information on property tax exemptions like homestead, veteran, or legally blind, please contact the assessing department at 992-4215. Again, an exemption will help reduce the amount you pay in actual tax dollars. Homestead exemption. Your total assessed value will be reduced by up to $25,000, and you will save up to $580,000 in taxes. Last year, the homestead exemption was just $20,000. This chart shows Bangor historic tax rates. Starting in 1999, and the tax rate was $23.70, and in the current year, our tax rate is $23.20, and I think over that time period, the average is about 21.5 on the tax rate. So it's been fairly consistent. Bangor's current tax rate, again, it was $23 per thousand last year. This year is $23.20 per thousand, an increase of 20 cents, or less than 1%. The same tax rate is used for all classes of property, both real and personal. We welcome all questions and comments about this presentation. Please call our office at 992-4215 or stop by to see us between 8 a.m. and 4:30 p.m. Monday through Friday. We are located on the first floor of City Hall at 73 Harlow Street. This annual assessment update is also available on the assessor's webpage, www.bangormaine.gov/assessing. The end, and thank you.